Welcome, everybody, to this panel on Talent Cloud. This is such an exciting time for remote work. In my mind, I keep thinking about the phrase, goodbye office, hello Talent Cloud. We are set to enter the golden era of remote work, which is super exciting. And we have an amazing panel here with us with leaders from Netflix, Facebook, Intel, and Kofax. So I'm super excited for that panel that's going to come up. So to set the stage for today's chat, I want to talk about why we are here. We now live in a remote-first world. Every company today is in a race to reap the benefits of remote engineering talent. We keep hearing about LinkedIn going remote, Twitter going remote, Coinbase going remote, Microsoft going remote. All these companies are now in a race to reap the benefits of remote talent. Even traditional companies like Siemens, Ford are also making the shift to remote. And the reasons for doing so are pretty obvious. Number one, you get to tap into a planetary pool of engineers when you shift to the Talent Cloud. Number two, you get to tap into amazing people from previously untapped geographies from all over the world, whether it's Latin America, Africa, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Asia, and all of those amazing countries. And number three, distributed teams work now. We have an amazing set of tools that foster excellent collaboration, communication, that make it possible for us to have our office in the cloud. And you'll also hear from Claudia later today on companies like Meta pushing the edge on virtual reality for a whole new generation of tools that's going to bridge the gap between the office and the talent cloud. But remote is still hard, and to build a talent cloud, you need to solve three problems really, really well. First, you have to solve for sourcing and finding talent. Companies have to figure out a way to tap into the global talent pool to make sure that we find great people from all over the world. That's number one. Number two, companies need a scalable way to evaluate the global talent pool. Like in the old world, when you had an office, maybe people were coming in for interviews and you might have used all sorts of ways to vet talent. But when we cast a planet-wide net with the Talent Cloud, how do you evaluate people from all of these geographies when the educational systems might not be familiar to you, when their work experiences might not be familiar to you? For example, if you look at an amazing, let's say, software engineer from Sao Paulo, Brazil, you're not going to see Stanford, Berkeley on her educational background. You're not going to see Google, Facebook, Stripe in her work experience. She could be a stellar engineer, but there's just no signal in the resume or a LinkedIn profile. How are you going to evaluate people like that, right? So evaluating a global talent pool is hard. And third, and this is one topic I'm excited to get into with the panel here, how do you operate with a Talent Cloud company? How do you onboard great people? How do you operate in this distributed teams in the cloud model? How do you set priorities? How do you align? How do you build great culture? We have Jessica here, who was Chief Talent Officer at Netflix. Netflix is a company that's legendary for their culture. How do you enforce culture in a Talent Cloud company, like when everybody is distributed from all over the world? So those are the three sort of categories of things that I think we'll have to solve as we shift from an office to the Talent Cloud. How do you source people? How do you evaluate people? And how do you operate, like once you've shifted? I think the shift from an office-first culture to a Talent Cloud culture is going to be as big a shift, probably a bigger shift, than the shift Mark Benioff spoke about in the 90s. When the world was shifting from on-prem software to SaaS software, cloud software, right? Salesforce famously proclaimed, goodbye to on-prem software and hello to the cloud. I think we are at a time in history where we're going to say goodbye to on-prem, like an office-first culture, to the Talent Cloud culture. I think we're about to enter a golden era of technology. It's going to be a golden era of technology because there isn't a better time to be a software engineer or a professional anywhere on the planet. Geographic boundaries don't matter anymore. Like we are now heading to a future where like people are going to have access to great opportunities regardless of the zip code they were born in, right? We are shifting to a more equitable, equal opportunity world where the geo lottery is finally hopefully going to be put to bed. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited about the shift for tech companies. And we have some amazing companies building on top of Turing, like Coinbase, Johnson & Johnson, Rivian, Disney, ESPN, all these amazing companies. They are now operating in a world where they no longer have to hire the people who happen to live near the office. They can hire the best people anywhere in the world, right? It doesn't matter if you live in Mississippi it doesn't matter if you live in Mississippi or Sao Paulo or Palo Alto. We're shifting to a future where the playing field is going to be level. And this talent cloud, now I know what you're thinking. How big is this going to get, right? Many estimates peg the talent cloud market to be a $4 trillion market. And there are different comparables here in terms of how people have traditionally leveraged the global talent pool. So I'm super excited for this growing market. It's just an exciting time to be alive. And people in Silicon Valley and beyond are voting with their feet for the talent cloud. You've heard of the Great Resignation. Like, people are choosing talent cloud versus the office. In fact, Turing is about to start running a survey all over Silicon Valley for people's preferences for, would you like to work from anywhere but meet as needed? Or would you like to go back to an office 5 days a week, 9 to 5, or have maybe 2 days a week in the office? So far, whatever surveys, like I've seen many of my peers, like other CEOs in companies run, people just vote for flexibility. Like, everyone wants the flexibility to be able to work from anywhere while being able to meet when needed. I think we are about to enter an era where the default is the talent cloud with plenty of support for meeting when needed. I'm super excited for the launch of the talent cloud as a category. And I think we as an industry are going to make the talent cloud, we're going to make the talent cloud come real. And as a result, like, create a bright future for people all over the world and for companies all over the world. I'm excited to chat with Jessica, who ran talent for Netflix. She was their chief talent officer. We'll talk about how to build culture in a talent cloud company. I'm excited to learn from Grace from Intel, who joins us from Portland. Like, Grace will give us a unique perspective of a hardware come software company, like how they operate in a talent cloud model. We have Chris building an exciting digital workflow automation company, share his perspective. And I'm also super excited to hear about the future of the talent cloud. Maybe the future of the talent cloud is in VR, or maybe it's holograms. I think Claudia from Meta will have some exciting perspectives to share. So welcome, everybody. And let's bid goodbye to the office and welcome the talent cloud. Back to you, Natalia.